Hi, I'm Doug Larson. I'm here in the Piedmont Environmental Council Native Plant Garden. It's behind our main headquarters office, which is located at 45 Horner Street, right in downtown Warrenton. The garden is certainly, at this point, in the very early stages of coming to life after the winter. Our offices are closed here, but I came by just to see what kind of progress was happening in the garden. And while there's not a lot in bloom at the moment, the promise of the coming months is very evident as you look at some of the plants that are coming out in leaf. And the plant list is on our website, which is pecva.org, and there is a plant list. We have over 100 species of native plants in this very small contained area right here in the town. I'm midway in the garden, and I'll pan a little bit so you get a sense of it. There's our terrace off the back side of our building, and you'll see that in this garden we attempted to, it was first a very difficult site because we're on a very steep slope here in the town of Warrenton and above the Eva Walker Park. On the lower end we have planted more shrubs and trees, which will grow into more of a woodland garden, and on the upper end we've kept the plants lower and more in keeping with traditional landscaping around the house. As you'll see, this is a steep slope. We're very proud of the fact that right in front of me you really can't see, except you can see the drain pipes, but all of the water in this building drains from the roof, and rather than running down the hill at full speed, it first is channeled into these water retention areas that we have built within the garden, so that during a heavy rain these retention areas fill up, slowing down the pace of the water that would otherwise be running down the hillside. Not much in bloom, as I said. These beautiful bright green leaves in front of me are an alternate dogwood tree. There's, I think, 3 varieties of dogwood here in the garden. I'm going to show you one of my favorites because it was such a beautiful tree throughout the winter. It's a red stem dogwood, and it is, I'm going to come in close so you can see, these bright red stems were a real joy during the winter landscape. These are one of the few things that really show up and give a lot of color in the winter landscape. There's one of the early bloomers here that right in front of me, which is the Downy Downy serviceberry. I want to show you the tags. We have these throughout the garden, which makes a self-guided tour rather easy because all of the plants are marked. As you'll see, this is just coming out into a beautiful flower. There's some fragrance. The shrub itself is probably 12-14 feet. This is coming, the garden was installed in 2018, so this will be the 3rd full growing season for the garden. So still, as gardens go, a very new endeavor, and one that we're all still adjusting to, making modifications and adding additional plants and moving others as anyone does in a garden. And there's always something blooming in this garden, and it has made a huge difference in the availability of habitat for birds and pollinators of all sorts. We do research areas out here in the garden with citizen scientists, volunteers who have helped to document the pollinators that are present out here and compare it to other sites with less attractive habitat, and truly the availability of native plants right here in the heart of downtown makes a huge difference in terms of providing for our very important pollinators.